Mateys, welcome to Thieves. This is Damron, and we're playing the Tall Tales of the new anniversary update, and this is going to be part 6, the Art of the Trickster. We're going to be making progress towards all the commendations and all these Tall Tales, so we're making progress towards the Seeker of Grand Adventure achievement. You'll also get the Art of the Trickster achievement for completing the mission for the first time, and Trickster's Folly once you complete all of the commendations. So part of all the commendations are to collect all of the Trapmaker's journals, so we'll show that as well. If you're coming just for that, all of the Trapmaker's journals will be at the end of the video. So just take this moment again to, appreciate all the support that I've gotten thus far. It's kind of a new channel, so if you like our stuff, feel free to like and subscribe. Keep the comments coming. I appreciate all the feedback and all the support that I've gotten thus far. So let's go ahead and get started with this mission. You're going to pick it up from SoT, who's on the east coast of Plunder Valley. And after you talk to him for a bit, he's going to give you the Tall Tale book that pertains to this particular chapter. And he's going to tell you that you need to find the Cave of Bones on Plunder Valley. And that's luckily it's right here, right? So from him, we're just going to head west straight through the valley. And once we make our way to the other side, as depicted in the book, you're going to see the statue of a stone bird. It's going to be right here on your left, and that means the cave is right across from that. So go into this cave and then take the first left and follow that around, and you're going to be entering into this area, which is the Cave of Bones. And if we're looking at our book, it's telling us a story, right? It says the Forsaken Captain points to the fire and ash, hand in hand, two lovers face their destiny. The rum runner laid her drink to rest, and the thief hides behind her mask of gold. So that is telling us what we need to do with the particular skeletons that are in this room. So if we go to the captain, we're going to make his hand point to the fire. So now he's pointing to the fire and ash. And then we're going to go to the couple over here, and they said they were hand in hand. So you want to make them hold hands. And then we go over here to the rum runner, and he needs to put his drink to rest, and the thief puts his golden mask on. So once you do all that, a cage is going to drop down from the center of the cave. And in that's going to be the spyglass and the directions for the next portion of the mission. And once those pages are added to your book, it's going to send you one of two locations. Either you're going to stay at Plunder Valley or you're going to have to go to Discovery Ridge. And you're going to have to solve 3 Trapmaker solutions that are going to consist of a picture that's kind of looking down on the map and then a statement that says, "Cross the sea, now lost for days. I feel a red piercing glaze." So you kind of have to find this. And on the bottom left is the Trapmaker symbol. And you have to find that. And the symbol is going to point in the direction that you need to look to find the solution, which in this case is going to be someone who is trapped for days and then they were pierced by a gaze, right? Or lost at sea for days. So here if we find, this Trapmaker symbol, it's kind of coming from where SoT is, and we head west, it's going to be on the northern ridge of the valley. And then we're going to grab our new, spyglass and look through it, and it has a skull. And the right eye is going to go on the piercing gaze, which is that sun, and the left is those 2 oars, and then the X in the mouth is going to tell you where you need to dig. So you go down to that X and you dig, and you're going to find the treasure. Now you have to do 3 of these. So the first one is going to give you the clue to the second one. The second will give you the clue to the gunpowder key. And there's several possibilities that you can get. We'll go through how 3 work, and then I'll show you the additional solutions that I found. So for this one, it says wood and iron may be the tools to save my soul from greedy fools. So if we go to Plunder Valley, kind of on the southwest ridge of Plunder Valley, you'll find the symbol right here, kind of on the edge. And again, we're going to whip out our handy spyglass and put the cannon and the barrel in the eyes, and then that X is going to show us where to dig. Now the third thing that you're going to have to dig is not going to be notes. So the final of the 3 solutions that you get is going to lead you to the key, which is a gunpowder chest, right? So this particular one, once soaring through the sky with pride, now crawling on the earth to hide. On the picture you can see the boat up there in the water, so that's over there on the eastern side where SoT is. So now we're on the southern ridge of Plunder Valley, and we're going to find this right here kind of pointing into the valley. We're going to look down with our spyglass and we see an eagle and a scarab, and so that X. Now the thing about when you get the third solution, you're going to dig up a gunpowder gunpowder barrel. And luckily for you, the Trapmaker has set up a trap for you. And as soon as you start digging this, you're going to hear explosions. So you need to grab this and run away as fast as possible. The reason you need to run away as fast as possible if the explosions don't give it away, but if you don't get away, you will actually be killed. And if you're killed, the gunpowder barrel is gone, and you will actually fail the tail, and you'll have to start all over. So keep that in mind. We definitely don't want to fail. So let's look at some other solutions in Plunder Valley. This one says, "For forgotten people, long we scour in search of an ancient burning power." So here we are. We're on the from the east. We're going to be on the southern ridge of Plunder Valley. Again, we're looking down into the crevice. Again, you can see the symbol at your feet, and there's the people and the flame with that X. So we'll go down and dig that up. And again, there's several solutions. I'm going to show you all the ones that I got. I did this several times. Hopefully, I found most of them, but there could be additional ones. So this one, the symbol's on the boat: rum and sea, forever my fate, iron barrel of fiery hate. So if we look towards the beach, you know, the fiery hate is the cannon, and there's going to be some rum bottles right to the left of that. So we whip out our spyglass, and that's going to give us the X for this treasure. Alright, so next up we're going to see "Caged and trapped, I may be bound, near ancient urn within the ground." Again, you can see the crashed boat up there. That's where SoT is. So we're going to head towards the southern portion of the ridge, but really all the way on the eastern coast. And up on this rock, you'll see this symbol, and it's looking out into the northeast direction. And if we look, we'll see a cage and an urn. So we'll go over there and dig that one up. Alright, so the next one's going to say, "Caged inside of kind of brig, near broken urn, a place to dig." So that large stone on the bottom of the picture correlates to this large bird statue that's overlooking the island. And then on the southwestern, southeastern portion of the map, you're going to look down onto the beach, and you'll see a cage and an urn. And there's our dig spot right there. Alright, another one on Plunder Valley: "Dark creatures now awake, an ancient call for all our sake." Again, the bottom of the picture is that large bird statue. So we're going to go to the other side of it, the northeast portion of the map. And then if we look over onto the beach, we'll see this dark creature, or a bat, and then the two people on the right. So that'll give us that X, and we can go dig that treasure. Alright, and now this one is "Salvage and wood to batten down hatches, closer now if viewpoint matches." So this one's kind of more in the middle of the map. You're going to have to climb up a ways, really, almost to the tallest peak. Not all the way up, but there's the brazier up there, if for orientation. But you're going to find this on the stone, and if we look down, we'll see a barrel as well as some wood, and we'll drop down for that spot, which is right there in the dirt. This one, "Rum and gold, drown my grief, ferried fern, accused thief." Again, you can see that bird statue on the south there, but this one again is more in the middle of the map, and for orientation, if you need, it's going to be right above the bird statue that you can find in the middle of the map. And then from the symbol, we'll kind of look out to the west, and it's a little dark here, but you can see a skeleton, and then to the left were some rum bottles that I guess he drowned in. So let's look at the Discovery Ridge locations. This one's "The red sun rises, gifting light. The blue moon shines bright at night." So again, we've moved on to Discovery Ridge. And keep in mind, though, I've shown you all the ones that I found. There certainly could be more of them, but I played to the point where I was starting to get a lot of repeats. So hopefully that's a lot of them. And the majority of the time I got this quest, it was on Plunder Valley. So this one's going to be on the eastern coast of Discovery Ridge. You're going to look for the sun and moon, and that's going to give you the X right there to dig up. Alright, now this one says, "Salvage and supplies steal my nerve, for gold and greed I have to serve." And you can see the symbol is actually on a beach there, looking up in between a path that leads between two rocks. So this is going to be on the northern part of Discovery Ridge of the main isle, and you'll find the symbol on some planks of wood. And then if we look across the way, with our handy dandy spyglass and put this barrel and the steel there in our eyes, it's going to give us our dig spot. Alright, the next one is through island waters I rode in awe, spited by a fearsome jaw. Same map as the previous one, but this time the symbol is up on a rock, so we need to climb up to the top of Discovery Ridge and we'll find this symbol looking out to the west. And the two symbols you need to find are the rowboat and the shark. So let's fall down here and dig that up and hopefully, not die, so parkour down the rocks a little bit and dig that treasure. Next up is ancient people praised the sea, and ships they used a fabled key. So here we go. This is the portion here on the northwestern portion of Discovery Ridge, and you can see the symbol is going to be up on a rock. We're going to look at the boat and someone praising the sea for that X. And I will say for Discovery Ridge, I had much less of these than Plunder Valley. So the next one up says plundered supplies help my plight, friends of the sea fill my sight. And we're going to have to kind of go up to a little bit of the ridge. This is actually near one of the Trapmaker journal locations. But if we're kind of heading north, we're going to go on the left ridge and we look down and you can see the seahorses in the cage, and we'll dig right there for this spot. The next one is through leafy palms I stumble and tread, through rum and greed I lost my head. So that's pretty cool. We're actually going to look for a headless skeleton, and we're going to be kind of in the more of the middle of the main island here, and we're going to be facing to the south. And facing to the south from this plank of woods with the symbol on it, we'll look into our spyglass and you'll see a skeleton without a head next to some palm trees, and that'll give us that X. So no matter what you do, whatever 3 you get, eventually you're gonna, get the gunpowder barrel key, and it's gonna tell you to sail to Sailor's Bounty. And Sailor's Bounty, you're gonna go into the main island of Sailor's Bounty, and it's kind of a long sail. I would recommend putting the gunpowder keg on your, up into your crow's nest while you're doing that, because you don't want it to get, attacked and destroyed. A megalodon or anything like that can kill this. And once we go into Sailor's Bounty, we're going to have to follow this cave. And there's a lot of traps in here. Actually, all these wooden planks that you're seeing me walk past are traps. If you step on that, it will release like swinging scythes or something that not only can kill you, but can destroy the barrel. And keep in mind, anytime this barrel gets destroyed, the mission will end and you'll have to start over. And eventually you'll make it to this crevice. Again, you'll see the Trapmaker symbol up on the wall. So we'll go through that and we'll find another one here, and we'll go through these spikes, and we're avoiding these traps. And this particular one right here, I recommend jumping over, the one that comes out of the ground. For some reason, even when the trap was gone and I was just walking, it would kill me. So I don't know if that's a glitch or whatnot, but keep that in mind. The one that comes out of the ground, I recommend just going ahead and jumping over that. And eventually you're going to get into this room here where you're going to place the Trapmaster gunpowder key in this stand, and you're going to fight several waves of skeleton enemies. And by several, I mean like kind of skeleton fort level. You're going to fight several waves. And something that I found helpful was to kind of pull aggro of all of them and just run back to the cave entrance. Not really the cave entrance, but back here where they'll end up kind of lining up. And the melee ones will protect you from the shots of the blunderbuss ones. So just kind of run in there, grab them, run back, and then they'll all nice and line up for you, and you can wipe them up pretty quickly. And eventually, once you kill several waves of these, you're going to fight a captain, and the captain is the one you need to kill, who's going to drop the next item you need for the quest. So the captain of the lair will drop a totem. So here we go, he's dropped the next papers of the quest and a totem, and by now you're probably pretty familiar with these totems. Is the third mission that's going to be taking us to these vaults. And just to remind you, there's 6 possible totems that you can get, and we'll briefly show you where all those are. So first, the Scarab totem, that's on Crook's Hollow. It's in the cave next to the waterfall. The totem's right to the, where you place it is right to the right of the entrance. The Crab totem, that's going to take you to the underwater cave system at the Uncharted Isle of N13. That's where the initial magpie was in the very first mission. So that's there. And The shark totem is going to take you to Kraken's Fall. If you're at the kind of water inlet, looking out to sea, to the right, you'll see the sharks up on the rock, and where you need to place the totem is kind of a little back from that on the right-hand side. The boar totem is going to take you to Devil's Ridge on the northeastern beach. You'll find the boar symbols on the rocks, and the place to place the totem is right to the left of those boar symbols. Now the snake totem is on Mermaid's Hideaway. Of all my playthroughs, I still have never gotten the snake totem, but it's on the northwestern portion of Mermaid's Hideaway, and the place you're going to place it is right here behind this rock if you get to the snake's totem. And the moon totem is going to take you to Crescent Isle. And on Crescent Isle, you will head into the cave here on the western side and then turn right or north. And inside this cave, you'll find the moon totem, and you'll place that just to the left of the symbols to enter into the vault. Now, no matter which of the 6 you go to, it's going to, it's all going to be the same right here. You're going to walk into the vault and you're going to light all 4 braziers. And then what's going to happen is the door's going to open and the shroud breaker stone is going to be right there to grab, but of course there's a Trapmaker symbol, so something is not as it appears. As soon as you pick up the stone, the door behind you is going to close, and you're actually going to have to fight 3 waves of the coral skeletons, and this is pretty easy actually. These are much easier than the previous fight with the vault key. So you'll fight 3 waves, pick up the medallions, and then that's going to allow you to leave. So you can pick up the Shroud Breaker Stone, and now you can return to SoT to finish the tale. But before we do that, let's go over all of the Trapmaker's journal locations. Keep in mind, as all the missions before, you have to collect these journals while in the mission. You can't do it off mission, so you need to be in the mission for this to count. So the first Trapmaker journal is going to be on Discovery Ridge. If we kind of launch up to the main island, and on the western side we move up the ridge a little bit, it's going to be right here on top of some barrels next to one of the Trapmaker symbols. The second journal is going to be located on Plunder Valley, and in Plunder Valley it's actually going to be located in the cave of skeletons that we did the first part of the quest on, right on the center rock, right next to some mushrooms. And Trapmaker Journals 3 through 5 are all going to be in the same place on Sailor's Bounty. It's actually going to be in the lair where we took the gunpowder key and fought the captain of the lair to get the totem. So it's nice, they're all in the same area. The first one's going to be right next to this anvil. And then straight behind from the anvil up onto the next rock up here, in between these 2 workbenches on the ground, will be journal number 4. And then if we make our way to the bed, the 5th and final journal is going to be at the foot of the bed. So once we've collected all those, we're ready to turn the Shroud Breaker Stone into SoT and complete the mission. So that'll complete it, and you'll have all the commendations, the basic commendations for completing the tale. The only one you'll be missing is to complete the tale 5 times. So once you complete the tale 5 times, then you'll have all the commendations in this particular mission, and you'll be that much closer to the Seeker of Grand Adventure achievement. So I hope you guys found the guide helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to like and subscribe, and hopefully we'll see you out on the seas, and we'll see you in part 7.